What's going on, YouTube world, YouTube community, man? It's Saturday the 29th still. And it's about 8:28 in the morning now. It's about 8:28 in the morning now. Yeah. It's about 8:28 now in the morning. But since I did the thing on Fred, I've been thinking back on Midtown, Midtown times, bro. Been thinking back on that. And how I became affiliated with Midtown and ultimately ended up joining them, getting initiated in. Yeah. Because when we first moved on Rose back January 1968, our parents wasn't allowing us to just be roaming around. We had to stay on our own block. When we first moved there, before we was allowed to venture off onto Spring and Willow and shit like that, it was our block or the park. Whether we was on a bike, skate, whatever. Our parents said, keep your ass on this street where I can find you, or y'all take your ass up to that park to play. So when we first came there, I'll say like our first year or so, we had to stay on our own block and up at the park. But I really didn't venture off and hang around Willow until the Crips came. Until Wayne them. Like I said, that was around 71. Everybody say I may be off on my dates or whatever, but that's how I remember it. A couple of years after us moving there. That's like 3 years after we moved there. That was in 71. As far as my own neighborhood go, the guys who hung out at Wilson Park, back when I first moved there, they didn't call themselves park boys, like all the other parks around Compton was calling themselves park boys, except Oaks Park. They was businessmen. But the guys who's hanging in Wilson Park then was Boulevard Hustlers. They called themselves Boulevard Hustlers. That was Glenn Huff, Cleef, Pookie. They was the Bremmers. That was Weasel from the Red House and Bobby Brimmer, Big Brothers. Bobby Brimmer was in Nellis with me. Bobby and Reggie Brimmer. Reggie was Weasel from the Red House. They was in YA with me. But they big brothers. Cleef and I think the other one name was Pookie. Yeah. Earl Huff and them type dudes. Them Tony Brown, John Brown ended up being a bodybuilder. He really didn't hang out with them dudes too much like that. But that nigga Tony Brown, that nigga's a character, man. We found something out about that nigga down the line. But yeah, that's how I remembered it. But like I said, I remember the Crips being in Watts and shit back in the 70s with my older cousins in there. It's where I first really encountered the Crips being around. And that they was in Watts, huh? It was around the 70s. Maybe late 70, can't pinpoint the exact time. But it was before I remember seeing some on Willow. Put it like that. And our parents always just say, keep your ass off of Willow Street. because Midtown was known as Midtown Willow Street Crips. That's what we used to say, Midtown Willow Street Cup Rap back in the day. So Willow Street was the street, homie, for sure. So that's when I got to hanging around, like 71, 2, 3. Then they initiated me in the summer of 73. But I was doing a lot of dirt and shit. That's why they put me on, because I was the police son, right? And then we had Sergeant Williams. They stayed on Spring between Palmer and Compton Boulevard. Then it was another cop stayed on McDivitt. I don't know if they had kids and shit in the hood, but it was another cop stayed on McDivitt. Oh, right there on McDivitt between Rosecrans and Pack Buzzard. Yeah, it was another cop in the hood, stay right there. But Sergeant Williams, he had a son named Willard, and I think Williams. But they ended up he ended up moving out the hood, brought a house in the mob, because they became mobs, his two sons. They became mobs. But it was hard on the nigga being the police son. You know, they like, shit, this nigga, the police son though, right? But when they see you doing a lot of dirt, getting dirty, they like, well, shit, this nigga got balls though. You know, he got hard. So, yeah, I used to, steal a lot. I was breaking in houses and shit, stealing guns. I used to give them to the big homies back in the day. I remember when the homie stole my shit from up under this house, because this little Mexican boy told him, yeah, the guns is under there. Y'all looking for the guns? They under there. And they say, what? He said, they under there, under the house. He put them under the house. And they went, grabbed our shit. They got a shotgun, couple shotguns, 30-30, right? We didn't even know the kids see us hot, stash the shit. We had just stole the shit, had the homegirl come get us. And we brought them to the hood, stashed them, and went on to school. But little boy seen us. But when the homies from Midtown, this was, I was claiming Willow Street at this time, though. But when the homies was coming up the block from school themselves, they came ahead of us. They was ahead of us, and but they got caught with them. And cause they run up the street, they wasn't sawed off nothing, so they would run up the street with them and got caught. Ended up getting caught. Ended up getting caught with them, huh? And but anyway, while them niggas was in there, somebody said, I think this sagging them shit. And it was the summer cuz of 1973 that I got initiated into the Sugar Babies. It was in Andre Butler backyard. Andre Butler, Rowdy Butler, Calvin Butler, they was brothers. All three of them left the hood with us. We was all Sugar Babies. I got initiated in their backyard. I had to fight. Four homies for 4 minutes. And they say it was because we each minute spelled out Crip, C-R-I-P, and each guy represented Crip, C-R-I-P. That's why we had 4. That's why I would always use 4 periods. If y'all notice that, if I use more than 1 period, it always 4, because I'm spelling out C-R-I-P. That's why I say it's always a reason. It's a reason to everything I do, y'all. You know, if I'm using something, believe me, it's a reason for it. See, that's what a lot of people may not know about me, homie. Even the little smallest details in what I do, it stands on something, homie. You understand what I mean? And who was it that who was it I had to tussle with for the 4 minutes? Who was it? I think it was Roddy. No, maybe Calvin. I think it was Calvin. Terry Burson. I think D. Witt. It was so long ago, cuz. So it's hard to really pinpoint who it was. But yeah, I took some and I gave some too, cuz. Boom, 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 you know, boom, boom. All how, bro, you have to just show, what you could do. Because you might be in a gang fight outnumbered, cuz. And there wasn't no running and shit, so. If we outnumber, 3-4 to 1, what you gonna do, homie? Because we ain't running. So you have to, show you can woo. But if when they get you down, they let you back up. We don't just pound them and stomp them and all that. We wasn't doing that, cuz. If you go down, boom, you can get back up, continue. You know what I mean? Type of thing like that. But yeah, it was Andre Butler backyard, man. When I got initiated, it was some 1973, man, on Willow Street between Am and Palmer. They stayed between Am and Palmer, the Butlers. And I was given the name Mad Warlock that day. Then the next year, 74, I went to Mad Hatter. And then 1975 is when I get the Mad Sack. But then later on, I went to Willow Street Crip. I stopped claiming Midtown when Midtown Old Sparks started going at it. Because I didn't want to go up against the homies from Old Spark. From me playing Little League Baseball over there, 71, 2, 3, and 4, I played baseball over there 3, 4 years. Little League, 71, 2, 3, and 4 was my last year. I stopped playing. After that, nigga full-fledged got the gang banging and committing crimes and shit, getting into shit, You know what I mean? I lost all interest in sports after that. I ain't gonna play no more. I'd rather steal something, snatch a purse, jack a motherfucking shit. Just even back then as a teenager, You know what I mean? That's what it got me end up in the youth authority, You know what I mean? I'm just glad I didn't get caught up in the game and end up in prison. That could have easily happened. I'm glad to be alive, to be a survivor, bro, from the era that I come out of. Because that era was vicious, man. Lost a lot of good friends, a lot of good people. On both sides. Those Crips, Bloods, Chicano brothers, everybody, bro. Lost tremendously with this violence, that come out of this gang culture, So a lot of lives been devastated behind the violence, the killing, the murdering, the slaughtering, of each other. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, next one I'm gonna drop one of my little baby brother Hub, man. Y'all all, man, take care of yourself. Be safe out there. May the Creator bless and protect each and every last one of the small evils, because there's plenty of them here on this earth. And despite vaccinations, I still suggest that you cover yourself up, keep your distance when you're out and about in society, and always sanitize after touching things other people have been touching when you're out and about in public. Take care of yourself. Love y'all.